Let's jump to our second point we want to talk about today. And how many stars do scientists, astronomers believe now are out there in the universe?
Well, roughly about 200 billion galaxies in the observable universe, which adds up to about 50 billion trillion stars. And that makes up about 1% of all the stuff of the universe. So 99+% of it is not stars, planets, or galaxies.
All right, and we're going to show them the clip because the rest of what we're saying in this clip, that they are necessary for us to have life and have the elements that support life here on Earth. This is what's astounding. This is part of the fine-tuning of the universe. Even the stars that God made are necessary. I want you to watch.
As we leave our solar system, we travel more than 4 light years to Alpha Centauri, the nearest star to our solar system. Only about half of the stars in the entire universe are classified as single or bachelor stars like our Sun. Alpha Centauri is not a bachelor star. It is one of the common multiple star systems. The gravitational tug-of-war in Alpha Centauri makes stable orbits for planets capable of supporting life impossible, so the majority of stars are ruled out as possible life support sites. As we continue on our way, we discover that stars come in different sizes, colors, and ages. The bigger the star, the hotter, faster, and more erratically it burns up its fuel. Stars more massive than the Sun burn their fuel too quickly and erratically to support life in their vicinity. Stars less massive than the Sun are cooler, so planets orbiting close enough to be warm enough for life would have their rotation greatly slowed by the star's gravitational tug. Slow rotation means long days and nights and life-destructive temperature extremes from day to night. Traveling 250 light-years out past Alpha Centauri, we encounter over 100,000 stars. Of these stars, only 100 of them so far have been found to have planets orbiting them. Scientists now estimate that only 2% of the stars in our galaxy possess planets. Most of the planets discovered so far are gas giants, several times more massive than Jupiter. All of them either orbit their star closely or have non-circular, non-horizontal orbits. Either way, they would destabilize any small rocky planets like Earth that might be near them. One candidate for a planetary system which bears some resemblance to our own surrounds a star named 55 Cancri in the constellation Cancer. At a distance of 41 light-years from Earth, this star is about 5 billion years old, just about the same size and age as our own Sun. This planetary system contains 3 gas giants, similar to those found in our solar system. But the similarities end here. While one of the gas giants orbits 55 Cancri at roughly the same distance as Jupiter orbits the Sun, it is 4.5 times more massive than Jupiter. This extra mass would disturb the orbit of any Earth-sized planets that might exist there. As for the other 2 gas giants, both orbit 55 Cancri so closely as to guarantee a deadly tug-of-war with any possible life support planet. So far, none of the extrasolar planets cataloged by astronomers possesses even one of the more than 200 design characteristics necessary for life. Chances are we'll find thousands of planets outside our solar system, but the possibility that we'll find a whole suite of planets like those in our solar system, uniquely positioned to sustain life on one planet, is growing more remote every day.
This is an astonishing clip, and people ask the question when they look at it, why did God allow so many years to go by for these stars to form, to become ashes, to have planets? Why so long? Why didn't God just kind of zap it all into place? Just say, boom, there it is. Why did he do that?
Well, given the laws of physics that he chose, it takes that much time to develop the elements that are crucial for advanced life to be possible. You say, why these laws of physics? As we've discussed before, those laws of physics were especially chosen by God to be tools in his hand to eliminate evil and suffering. If you want evil to be here forever, you could use different laws of physics. But given that that was God's primary goal in creating the universe, that's why it takes that amount of time to get things ready for human beings.
Yeah, and the laws of physics have to do also with the fact of free choice, which we're going to get into. It also talks about the fact of allowing evil and even preparing in advance for the evil that would come and balancing that, and then eventually answering it by the Creator himself coming into the creation and dying and paying for our sins and being the answer for it. So man becomes very important in this whole process of the laws of physics. And if you don't understand what we just said there, hang with us. We're going to get into this more in the programs up ahead. But I want to turn to another one of what we call the anthropic principles of the fine-tuning of the universe. What is the anthropic principle to start with?
Well, it's the observation that the universe has the characteristics built in advance to make human life possible. As physicist Freeman Dyson put it, when we look at the universe, you can't avoid the conclusion that somehow it knew that we humans were coming.